mean Mecca? Oh, you didn't know about Mecca? I said, no, what are you talking about? There is no reference to Mecca.
Hmm.
I said, there's no reference. Yeah, Dr. Patricia Corona found that. I said, who's Dr. Patricia Corona? Now, it was like, and as I'm having this discussion with, now it didn't happen all in one day. It happened over about a period of 2 weeks because everything he kept on coming up with, like he said, did you know the Dome of the Rock has no Qibla? I said, wait a minute. The largest structure of its day, the most resplendent building, it's beautiful there, has a golden dome. I said, no, 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 no. Hold on a minute. That golden dome is not original. I said, it isn't? He said, I said, wasn't that built by Abdul Malik in 691? He says, yeah, but it didn't look like that. I said, what do you mean? He said, look at your history. That's been destroyed and rebuilt 11 times.
Hmm.
The only original part, he said, is the inner ambulatories, those two ambulatories that are inside. He said, but even that doesn't have a Qibla. I said, how can it not have a Qibla? It's the third most holy shrine in Islam. It's where all the Muslims believe that why they want Jerusalem back, because that's where all the Muslims believe. Muhammad went in the middle of the night called the Mi'raj, and he went up on the back of the winged horse called the Burak, and he flies up from Mecca up to Jerusalem, and he ascends the seven heavens. I said, that story's got to be there. He says, okay, see if you can find it.
Hmm.
Look at the inner ambulatory, the only original part. Look at the inscriptions there and see if you can find it. So as I'm having this kind of debate with him, it was fun. And you could see he was enjoying it, but the other students weren't.
Hmm.
Suddenly, I noticed that one of the, after another of these Muslim students started getting up, walking to the door, and slamming the door. Ooh, I don't know what that thing's doing up there right there. My computer loves it. My computer listens to me all the time, and it puts up a one. You'll see some balloons go up after a little while. And so here they start slamming the door and yelling at Dr. Hawting, saying things that were not very pleasant as they left. They were leaving the class. Why? Because they had never heard this material before. It wasn't just me that had not heard it. They had never heard it. And they knew how damaging this was. And they could not sit under that. They couldn't come up. They were quiet. Some of them, once at the very beginning, someone said, "Sir, you got your dates wrong." And he says, "No, these are not my dates. These are your dates. Go up on Wikipedia, go up on Britannica Encyclopedia, and look at the dates for these guys, Ibn Hisham, Al-Waqidi, Sahih Muslim. Look and see what their dates are." He says, they're all there. It's just that you haven't been taught this because you're not taught this in your Islamic schools. So as I was watching this, I said, wow, this is amazing. I've got to take this down. I've got to try it out. Now, remember, from 1992, I was up down at Speaker's Corner every day. I was not up on a ladder. I was always on the ground.